Welcome back to your favorite channel, MYC Network, MYC Odd App. We are here with the legendary fucking Patriot himself, the fucking guy that told him to shove it up their ass, fucking fought hard for a long time, Joe Dragon of Dragonchain. What's up, man? How's it going?
Hello. Thanks, man. Thanks for that intro. Really busy. It's just been crazy, really just too much to do the past couple of weeks, so it's all good. You know?
Fuck yeah, man. So I know everyone's been wondering what's next now, right? And I know Dracaria, I don't know how to say it, Dracaria or Jacaria.
Dracaria.
Jacaria. There you go. I'm always mispronouncing it. And on top of that, I stayed up till like 8 a.m. last night. It is like full blown bull season. Like, so I'm like, wow, a monkey on fucking crack, just spam marketing like a motherfucker right now.
Okay, that's cool. Wow.
But, you know, I want to make sure that as we're doing that, you know, we get a lot of light to you guys, because I know how long it takes to first of all, build a project, maintain the project. It's not free. And then, you know, fucking, and then all the other bullshit that goes along with it, you know?
Of
so
course.
I really get what all that is about. But tell us about the dragon eggs, because I got this key. I got the key.
Right.
And I put my alarm, and I was like, it'll probably be fine. But I forgot that there's a timer on it, and I completely missed it.
I'm sorry.
You know, I was like, oh, fuck.
I felt bad. I should have been pinging you, but like I said, I was busy in code, busy working with everybody, and there were a few other people that also didn't get to spawn any. I think there were 6, maybe 5 or 6 keys that are still unused, and you can use it in another season, so it'll always be there. So this project is a long time coming. I've the concept behind it and some of the features I've been talking about since the days at Disney, and a lot of it I was hoping people would see how this worked, and kind of take it upon themselves to plug it into something, but mostly it didn't ever happen. We used it a few times over the years to do like little contests, giveaways, where the beautiful thing is you don't have to worry about saying, I mean, if you wanted to, you could even say, yeah, team can even win. Why? Because we can prove that it's unpredictable. We can, it's all relates to a future event on the blockchain. So it's, you essentially put something on chain that can't be changed, pointing to something in the future that essentially says, when this happens, we're going to choose from a set of winners, right? And so we did that a few times, but this project, it was interesting because we got this email from these 3D animators, right? And they're at first we didn't know who they were, but they said, hey, we have this fully rigged 3D dragon, we want to show it to you. And I'm thinking, they probably just want to sell me something. It's crypto. I constantly would get people saying, hey, we have something you should buy, and and when what was
that with like Game of Thrones or something? Did they
help it was when one of my team members looked into them and said, wait, these guys are like legit. They've worked on real big projects. And so I thought, oh, okay, so that's cool. And so when we met them, they said, well, we're dragon people, right? They did the Game of Thrones dragons, and turns out they were, because they are dragon people, they were Dragonchain fans for a long time, right? And they just never reached out before. And we started talking to them, and they just wanted to know, if we had any ideas what we could do with this. And so I said, well, I have this deck, right? I have some ideas, and essentially what it amounts to is, the original proposal is to build these dragons and to build a game where the dragons themselves and the actions in the game are all controlled by entropy, randomness from the blockchain. So you could have tournaments and things like that, and it would be impossible to cheat. It would be pretty cool. And it turned after we really walked through it a bunch into a thing where, I developed a system that used a whole bunch of these interesting approaches that I developed over years, but where essentially you spawn an egg, and the entropy tells you, it's an air, fire, water, or earth dragon egg.
Like there's randomization, like
right,
and there's no way to get the same one, which is kind of cool because typically, even if you do randomize, like typical NFT projects, right? Even when they do randomize, they have like a cap on whatever NFTs created. And with this, it sounds like you could have basically millions and millions and millions of different randomizations with the genomes. Now, let me ask you this real quick. What is how are the transactions going to work? Like let's say because I see that, okay, I got my key, I spawn the egg, wait for the egg to hatch, all that.
Right.
How is this going to get paid for? Like is it for Dragonchain or ETH or what? How does that mechanism work when it comes to doing the transaction itself?
Okay, so after this first season, this Genesis season, you'll be able to pay a fee to spawn an egg, and essentially they're going to start at $25 a piece. There's only 100 eggs the first season, right? So it's probably going to be oversold. They're going to, too many people are going to want them. But we wanted to keep it kind of tight, keep it kind of scarce to start. There's an algorithm that, I'll tell you the payments first. The payments, specifically, you can pay with a credit card, or you can pay with ETH, US dollar coin, US dollar token, or dragons.
And that's all it's going to be like on the website, I'm assuming, because when I looked at the site, I didn't see any payment portals or anything like that.
Not yet. Yeah.
See, this is what I love about you, and I was talking to Dave about this. Dave is Dave's one of our like real OGs in NYC, and like one of the main things he was talking about was like, he's like, man, you know what? Joe's just like too smart for his own good sometimes. He like forgets that we have to buy something.
Oh yeah. Well, we wanted to keep it like so that the very beginning, because we didn't want to, like, imagine we put the white paper out. We didn't want to say, hey, it's the Game of Thrones people, right? So we wanted to cook in future hype, right? Where, we decided we were going to unveil that when the first dragons hatched. And, it worked. It's nice because we kept the hype levels really low when there's nothing to buy, right? It's like there's no reason to bring up hype at that point. And that's why the first season was also free. It gave us an opportunity to say, okay, it's a reward for people reading the white paper, answering questions, being involved,
I'll be really fucking honest with you on that reading part. Okay. Fucking the people in OddApp have a problem with fucking reading sometimes, I swear. Like, so I'll be telling people about something really cool, right? And then we're all fucking buying it, we're all getting excited. And I get like, hey, Dion, what does that shit do again? Or like, why are we bullish on this again? And I'm like, did you fucking even go to the website? Did you even look at it? Like, I swear to God, a lot of these questions that I run into would be like simply answered if they just visit the fucking website.
Yes.
Yep. So sometimes it's like I really got to put it in their face, like, hey, here's the goddamn website. I need you to go check it out.
Yep. Well, and I'll tell you too, the entire team, which is really interesting because it's different worlds. It's like I'm an engineer, we're tech, we're crypto. The animators are, they're a Hollywood. They know movie stuff. They know, they know building beautiful animations and stuff. And I was not ever sure, are we all on the same page? But it was amazing because we would, every time we would meet, they would actually double check. It's like, now this is like we're going to do this as a long, because they want it to be a long-term thing. They want to make other characters. They want to repeat, and, build games and build other things. Right. And it's going to be amazing because we were all on the same page. We didn't want to, flash in the pan. Hey, we'll put out a bunch, sell a couple
Joe,
$100,000 worth, and move
we
on.
need you. We need the bullish Joe Dragon. That's what we need.
Yes.
We need.
Yes.
We like. I know you're always like modest. You're always like very humble. Like we need you to come out and just fucking really hammer it down, because I was watching a little bit of your live stream the other fucking day. The fucking memes that you put are funny as hell. Like I was like, fucking Dragonchain's putting out some base ass content, and not that many people get to see this. So it was nice to kind of see some unfiltered shit going on. So I like that. So you guys make sure you catch Dragonchain on their live streams. They're doing a live stream. Was it every Wednesday or what?
We do 2 every Thursday. So we do the update show at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, and we do the World Blockchain Roundtable at 10 Central, 11 Eastern. And the round tables where we do the memes and the.
Are you streaming on YouTube when you do it? Because I see the stream happening on Twitter.
Yeah,
but where are you streaming?
It's on Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and
is that where you're getting? Is that where you're streaming from though? The Den app, and then you're transferring it, or are you on YouTube? Or
in fact, we're using StreamYard to broadcast.
Okay. I was always trying to figure out where you were exactly streaming, or how, what, because I always watch it straight off of the Twitter. So
that's the way.
You see me, I'm like constantly like on Twitter just spamming at this point.
Yeah. No, they YouTube basically doesn't count the viewers. When we used to broadcast only on YouTube, we would have definitely. We've tested it multiple times. The
numbers are bullshit. They're all bullshit. Yeah. The views, the fucking you already know my account's already completely definitely censored in some sort of way. But I've seen views removed. I've seen fucking likes removed, and it really just depends on if you're feeding the machine the correct stuff, And if you're not a good boy and you're not feeding them the correct information, then they're not going to pretend like 10,000 people are watching. Like I actually feel like the views, they'll fluff the views in order to entice influence. Some streamers. So they give them even fake views just because they're producing the content that triggers every algorithm or whatever the case. So they'll add more, so that way more people watch and 20,000 people are watching, so I feel like they do a lot of things to manipulate those numbers, because I'll be honest, sometimes when I look at it's like Twitter, the Twitter accounts, it's everywhere. You could go on Fiverr right now, spend $50 and you're famous. You get fucking 1 million followers if you need to. Just you spend a good $200 on Fiverr, you got it. And I believe in humans. I like the whole AI shit. And I honestly I can't wait for my robotic waifu. But at the end of the day, we got to put humans at the forefront of things, or put more value in real numbers. And I feel like blockchain is going to change a lot of that stuff, especially with social media. In fact, I was talking to a lot of people about social media in general when it comes to 2-dimensional social media. And it hasn't been spoken about. I haven't heard it anywhere else, or the name of it. I call it 3D social media, because up until this point, the last decades, we dealt with MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitch, YouTube. All of these things are still, even if you're live, you're still looking at 2-dimensional social media. And what I think is coming is 3D social media. And 3D social media is virtual reality, where you have your own avatar, you have your own whatever. I've been playing around a lot with VR chat, some maps with Fortnite, and one of the maps I just built, it became real popular real fast. We ran it 12 days, and we've had over 6,200 visits, and that's 6,200 humans walking in
just a couple of days. That's good.
And then having fun inside this virtual club that I made. It looks like a South Beach Miami club, but but the map itself, when I built it, I earned a license for it, a commercial license for the asset itself. And I'm able to transfer that asset, and you could even play death matches on it if you really wanted to. I could take that file and upload it to like Fortnite, for instance. So I have a feeling like a lot of these gaming platforms might become interoperable. So like if you have, let's say you have like an avatar or something, you'll be able to transfer your avatar between different games, different platforms, stuff like that. And I think that's what's going to come. And Apple and Google's getting involved right now. So like I wanted to get on that train. So like the way I see it is eventually they'll be onboarding hundreds of millions of people, because like I think the next phones that are going to come out, they're going to have like good ass graphics, and every phone is going to be able to be compatible to just pair up to the headset and call it a day. So that's what, everyone with a cell phone getting into virtual reality is very like, you put the numbers on it, it's crazy. Because I feel like that's what you're going to do. You're going to put on a headset to go to work. You know, they couldn't solve the problem, because the whole reason why they cut down on remote work is because people were pretending to work, like me at the time, and I was sleeping in front of my laptop. So, you know, but it was a good idea that they liked, but the part was people like me. So the bigger issue there is, well, how do you get people, or how do you know they're there working, right? I think that's where the headset comes in. You see, now they see your avatar or whatever represents your movements, or, you know, whatever. Probably mine you. They'll probably fucking mine you for cryptocurrency doing that shit, for all we know.
I'm sure.
But let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's get to the juicy stuff, Dragon. I'm going to give you some hardball questions. Okay.
All right.
Super hardball, not too crazy. Tell us, just from your perspective, your journey. Okay, from start to now. You know, you had major popularity, major fame within the crypto industry, right next to Ripple. And to be honest, I feel like you're so underappreciated. The project itself is very, very underappreciated. Same thing with price. I think the price is way too goddamn low. I think it needs to be $15 plus. But the thing is a lot of these exchanges were delisting you over bullshit. And I think a lot of these people should apologize, and they should relist your shit for free now, because you're right next to Ripple. You know how big a fucking case this was. So Ripple is going back and forth, nonstop marketing the fuck out of this dumbass case, right? And then here you are fucking suffering in the background and like you're still busting your ass, and like now you won this case. So like I want to hear just your like fucking raw personal fucking how the fuck do you feel about all this shit? Going through what you've already went through, having what you've already had, and then now you're in everybody's face like, I fucking told you so. It's over.
Right.
So like let's talk about it.
Wow. Are you sure you want that? First of all, I have to
ask, I want to fucking like, if you need to tell fucking like Gary Guzzler to fuck off, you can. He doesn't work there anymore. So it's
right. Well, it's beyond that. It's beyond that. So it's I'll tell you, because when we came out, you know, we thought, okay, we have a good chance here, because, you know, we came out of Disney. It's real tech, you know. It was and you know, and I brought the tech into Disney, right? So I came there, and I had this this idea, because I'd already been working on it for 4 years, since 2010. You know, and you know, I'm a nerd, and I see a system, and I try to figure out how can you improve this? How can you fix that? And I did that with blockchain, with Bitcoin, you know, and I was like, okay, it's not scalable. And it's not very user friendly, you know, and it's not very easy to integrate. And, you know, you could talk in those days to anybody in the, you know, Bitcoin world, and they would all say, yeah, it's impossible what you're talking about. And I'm like, but it's not, right? It's just you'd have to step a step back and, you know, rebuild based upon, you know, what I know. That's what I did in my day job forever, is work on these really big systems. Sometimes they're ancient, find ways to scale them, make them more secure, make them work with new stuff. That was my whole thing. And, you know, I had a good business doing that. And I just, I said, oh, I'm going to apply it to this because this is an amazing tech. And
I mean, and you killed it. You were on
yeah,
like NASCARs and fucking
yeah.
like.
Well, and I think that I really did solve it in those early days. And there's still, when I say I solved it, there are a million different ways that I could do the same thing I did. And, so essentially at Disney, we, planned it out, we put it together. I built a pretty ugly code base at the beginning, but it worked. And when we threw it up onto their real systems to test it, to see, okay, is this, we want to break it. How do we break it? We couldn't break it. It kept doing fine, even on these, little bitty servers we'd throw it on. It still just kept humming along. And so like, okay. And we improved it a few times. And then I finally, because we were working as Disney with some of the W3C standards groups related to blockchain, and Microsoft and IBM in particular kept, how are you guys doing this? Because I couldn't show them the code because it was proprietary, but we were doing things they couldn't touch. And they I think they halfway weren't sure if I was BSing them or not, but they like, how are you doing this? And I say, I would give them the high level. And finally, I kind of leveraged those questions inside of Disney to say, we should open source this. We should get this out so we can show how it works. And, the team there was amazing. And, it took us quite a bit of work, but we went through all of the, you can look it up. It's all public. We've posted all the details, but it was quite an operation to meet all of their requirements to open source it. And it's the biggest thing they ever open sourced. And when we rolled out, they hand the keys over. So essentially me on the outside, personally get the keys to the kingdom on that project. And, some of the people inside Disney recommended that we, go commercialize it on the outside, so on. So we did that. And when we rolled out, we knew, okay, we'll get some attention. But because I think halfway because, it was a legit tech, and because we, the pedigree, we came out of Disney.
But they let a bunch of trash stay on the chain, and everything was fine. Like, it was all good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
they advertised them shittiest projects, like scams and all sorts of shit. But for you, making real shit, it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so when we put it out, we rolled out with this, at the time I saw, if you remember the, the Brave browser token came out. It sold out in like 2 blocks or something, and a lot of people got screwed. Right. And so I was thinking, okay, because we were open and outside of Disney for a year before we launched the token. And I knew that we had a lot of newbie people. We had a lot of people that wanted to understand crypto, but hadn't really felt comfortable until we came along and thought, okay, these guys are probably, and the way I run stuff is very open and friendly. And so we had a lot of people in that I started getting, it's like, we need to make sure these people don't get screwed. Right. So the very first thing we said is, in the Slack, look, if we ever announce anything significant, it's going to be signed with this Bitcoin address. Right. So if something comes out and it's not signed with that, don't trust it. And, inevitably we would have people come in the middle of the night while we were all asleep in Seattle, and they would impersonate me and announce some big sale, and no one would ever put it in because somebody
fucking Telegram.
Yeah, somebody would say, "Oh, that's not Joe. That's not Joe. Joe would have signed that, right?" And so it was a beautiful thing because everybody was watching out for each other. Then we put together the token sale that essentially said, we're going to put 55% of all the tokens in this sale, and they're going to sell from October 2 to November 2, 2017. And it's proportional. So we don't know how much we're going to raise. We don't know how much it's going to cost. But if you put in 1 Bitcoin, you're going to get 1 Bitcoin worth of dragons back. The price is going to set itself. And it was amazing because, the bad part about it is we probably sold a lot less in value than we would have. because we didn't play, any games where people were going to be dumping on each other. We pretty much put it out. Everybody got the same price, but what that led to was and the timing was just, hand of God stuff. There's no way we could have planned it. But when it came out, immediately the bull run happened after the tokens launched. And on Ether Delta, it went from 6 cents, which is what everybody bought it at, immediately up to a quarter, like that night, and then proceeded on to $1. Then KuCoin listed it, and it went up to 540, and so we had a really, really good return on it. And that, though,
I don't know why KuCoin hasn't relisted it. They got fucking coins.
They have a bunch of them. I don't know why they haven't. It makes no sense to me. But does your team reach out to some of these old exchanges at all, or or you just kind of like? We can't because of our legal guidance. So our legal guidance says we have to stay away from it, which is what kept us safe from the SEC attack.
Is that still effective now though? Like
the legal guidance is. Yeah, the legal guidance is so they can't ever come back. Now, at the same time, we can work through, and we are working through independent agents, and we have friends now that we didn't back then that know people. So that works, and we're working on a few things. But back to the what I think of it at some point there, and it would have been early in 2018. I'm in Seattle, right? And our office is at WeWork. I'm like, oh God, why we had an office at WeWork? But it was all glass, so we couldn't, I couldn't set up crypto there at all. If I did any private key stuff, I would have to, go home. And I didn't want to hold the, the hardware wallets or anything at WeWork. I couldn't put them at the house, so I would carry them around.
I don't even like the fact that I don't like that the metal casings that some of them have. I kind of like it's okay, it's durable and stuff like that, but it's like why do I need I don't know, metal on the what do I need? I can't hold it because I can't go through a metal detector with my fucking ledger. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of stupid.
It is weird, yeah.
Because it's
well, so
imagine you're trying to hide your money, or you're trying to make sure that no one knows about it, and now you got to put your fucking whole ass ledger in the pot and let somebody scan through everything, and then whoever sees it, they're gonna be like, oh, this person has crypto.
Yep.
At what point are they going to be like, well, hey, how much money is in there? Because you're traveling back and forth, and you can't just, have a bag of $1 million and then exit the country cash.
Yeah.
No, you can't. And that's not fucking weird that you can't take your own money at a certain amount and exit the country with that money. It's weird. It's weird.
It's very weird.
So
I'm walking around town. And I have this hardware wallet in my pocket. And at the time, we had $50 to $60 million worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I had on that same wallet 1.3 billion in Dragons, something like that. And, I got a concealed carry up there. And so, I'm at least where I'm carrying it under the gun. Enough people knew that. But it's just, it was weird. And what it comes to answer that original question is, I think that me, I'm not, my dad's not a senator, right? I'm not, nobody in my family has ever been on Epstein's Island or Necker Island or any of those islands, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty much just called out that I wasn't supposed to be able to have control of that amount of capital. I think literally that's what it is. Because if we wouldn't have ever shown up to that level, they wouldn't give a shit about me, Yeah. And so
I think it's just it's like a shakedown is what it really is.
Yeah. Well, it really woke me up because before that I was pretty much a conservative libertarian politically, right? Mm-hmm. And now I know, when I look at the last names of the people that that were in charge that did this to me. I know who the fuck it was now, and it's like, holy shit, that's there's little denying it, because it's all the same group, and I'm not supposed to have anything like that.
I literally think that fucking they're gonna let this guy from FTX out. I forget his fucking name already. Sam
Bankman-Fried.
Right? Yeah.
They want to. They want to.
I'm calling it right fucking now. They're gonna let him out. They're gonna let him out after all that.
And they're gonna fund him too. Not only that, they're gonna let him out, and they're gonna give him a few $1 billion. I feel like that's
exactly what's gonna happen.
Yep.
It probably already happened, and they just keep it under wraps, like type shit. I don't know. So explain. All right, now explain where you're at now that you're like, you look back and you're like, okay, I just won. This case is got dropped. Yeah. Explain to me what that was for you. Like when you finally got the news that it was fucking over.
I don't think it's still hit. I still feel like, like they're
watching you and shit.
Yeah, it's on my neck still. That I don't know who, it's they I don't
know how the fuck they could say anything anymore, to be honest. Like, so there was random topic, but they just got through indicting some pastor for pushing a coin, right? And he just happened to be shilling his coin, okay, to his congregation. Okay, cool, whatever. All right, I get it. Sounds bad, but when they indicted him, he was like, I felt like God told me to do it, And I get that. I get it. But look, the thing is everyone shills their coins. Mm-hmm. That shouldn't be illegal, and it doesn't matter in what form it is. And then on top of that, every religion, every culture, they do action after prayer, and that's a ritual that they, before they do something, they want to pray on it, and then they do it. Mm-hmm. So for them to sit there and be like, oh, these are scammers, they are fraudulent, they were deceitful and misrepresenting, how? They were led by their faith, and they're talking about their faith. So like, as much as I know what everyone is feeling when it comes to that type of thing, I look at the base layer of everything and I'm like, everyone's shilling. Like, everyone shills their coin. If you like the coin, everyone shills their coin. So what's the issue there? And then if on top of that, like, if you want to look from a cultural point and you want to say that it's fraudulent, well, that's like saying the person's faith is fake, that his faith is fraudulent because he's doing whatever under his faith. So, oh no, you must be lying because you said that you prayed about it, or you're lying because God told you so. You must be lying. No, that's literally what a lot of people fucking do. So I personally, as retarded as it is, I just don't think that anybody should be getting like in any sort of trouble for shilling their token. You got fucking Melania and Trump launching shitty ass coins. We have really bullshit coins everywhere. So it's like, I can't even take this shit seriously at this point with
right. I mean, and the way that they were trying under Gensler in particular, but even under Clayton, the way that they were trying to rule on this stuff. I mean, Pokemon for sure, Topps baseball cards, Donruss baseball cards would have been, classic cars would have been, McDonald's would have been. I mean, it's like
Chuck E. Cheese has had tokens. Fuck.
Everybody who's done any of and
now they have digital currency. Did you know that? Chuck E. Cheese. They took away the coins, right? So they took away the coins. Yeah. And then now all your coins are held on your little card, and it all stacks up there.
Like Dave and Buster's,
but they're still tokens.
Yep. So. Yep. Yeah. And so, I mean, what we're doing now, once we cleared that, we had already been, planning for years, okay, how do we exit? How do we, when we win? Because we were confident we were going to win. We didn't know how we were going to win, and I think it was really interesting going into the final days because the timing was crazy because we would have gone to trial months after, the new administration came in that had, essentially decided they were going to change course a little bit. And we were pushing back. And I even had my attorney screaming at me on the phone to take some settlement. And I was just like,
How the?
No, it's like
I
why
don't know
would
how
we
they even
settle?
said you're wrong, dude. Like, you're a fucking layer 2 on fucking ETH.
Yeah.
And
Well,
ETH is
and
fine.
beyond that, we're layer 0 itself. Like the utility of it's crazy, and yet if ETH had their pass, our token was on ETH, so we should have been included in that pass. But it's like nope, because Joe can't be a billionaire. Joe, his last name is Rhodes. He can't be a billionaire, right? And so one way or another, we have been building for all of those 7 years, right? So we have all these products. We have all of this, I think we have 6 really intense patents. I mean, these are patents that are real. They're not if you ever looked into the blockchain patents that like the banks have, they're BS. Like they're patenting a piggy bank, a crypto piggy bank, and stupid shit. We patented time. We patented, and I'm not even the biggest believer in patents, because I'm an engineer. But at the same time, I know how the world works, and so we wanted to protect ourselves, and our scalability is patented with time, which amazing stuff. So we did all that, but then we've been building like Dracaria. We've been building for 3.5 years, right?
Yeah.
And when all of this stuff was pretty much ready, we're like, okay, now we announced it, and when we produced the the press release stuff for the SEC drop in the case, and now we're progressing through this. Where
Did you celebrate that day? Like, what did you do?
Not really. I mean, it's busy. We're busy, So,
I would have been popping bottles and fucking doing fuck you videos all day. I really would have. I would have literally got on Twitter, fucking live stream, and be like, "Hey, just fucking put this goddamn this camera on. We're going live right now."
That's hilarious.
And just fucking 5 minutes straight. Fuck you. Oh, this person, especially fuck you. This person, fuck off.
Yeah,
I literally would have like name by fucking name. So we had. I know we're running a little bit short on time, but let me do this. There's a couple questions that some of the audience had asked. Okay. And I'm going to go over this one real quick. It says from Brian, it says, if meme coins could pay for listing, why can't Dragonchain? Explain to me like I'm a retard. Well, what's weird is it is retarded because for whatever reason, and I've heard this from multiple tier 1 listed project owners, okay, the CEOs themselves, for whatever reason, you cannot solicit the exchange to list your coin, or else it's for whatever. It's like some sort of legality that makes you. I don't even know how they fucking determine how do coins get listed then? You know what I mean? Like obviously you have to reach out and say, hey, so.
Yeah. I think
when they do it on their own accord, you're more free than if you paid for it. So it's kind of stupid the way it is. I really disagree with that whole thing.
It's the same reason that they don't come after. If you have a coin that does nothing specifically, they've said they won't go after it. Yet if you have something that is actually built to improve something in the world, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
you have to think. Why is that? It's because the banks, they want to control it.
Well, they want to get in first, and then they'll talk to their buddies.
And we had, and I'll tell you, in the way that I convinced John Deaton to come on board, and that convinced our other legal team, was that, look, I can give you some equity, I can give you some tokens, and essentially we have this legal guidance that is proprietary, private, it's trade secret, and we have a patent on the token model, and we're one of the few projects that have a patent on the token model, which is it's a micro license, it's a software license. Yeah. And so these two things in combination, theoretically, should, if we win the case, open us up to essentially remake the 2018 ICO world.
Fuck yeah.
But in the clear, because we have a patent and we have trade secret, and they can't come after it.
I think I'm just going to call this now. I feel like this is going to end up happening. They warp speed all of these bills, for crypto. And the only reason they're doing that is so the institutions and all these companies just could start buying projects. Yeah. So now that that's getting in place, I have a big feeling like this alt season, and now that we're actually like you feel the momentum picking back up, I feel like what's going to really take alts to the next level is corporations and institutions now coming in and buying up a lot of these utility projects like yours for investment purposes or whatever they deem fit. But I have a strong feeling that because I never felt like this cycle is a little bit different. I felt like there's going to be less people, but higher prices due to inflation, due to the fact that like we're kind of opening this can of worms of very Great Depression like era type of similarities. But it's going to be a time where there's not that many people on the market, but for some reason the prices still keep going up and with less people. So I do feel like that's going to happen, but it might not only will be led in inflation price wise, but also by the institutions that never had the opportunity or legality to purchase. Because back then you had it was just VCs, they would just take in money for, research, and then they would take that money and then just fucking throw it down. Or they would just take a fuckload of a loan out, go buy a fucking a coin, and then dump on themselves, and then just fucking we fucking lost. That's what a lot of these VCs were doing, because a lot of people thought VCs were losing. Well, I don't think so. I think they fucked everybody, really. Including the people they borrowed money from, whether it's the bank or just regular retail guys. But I'm going to give you this this comment for you, Joe. Let me read it. This is also from Brian. He's on a roll today, so I'm gonna give him his spotlight here.
Right on.
He says, "You guys aren't mad enough about Dragonchain treatment. It's time to unleash the dragon." What do you have to say about that?
We have plans, right? Yeah, we have plans, and we're working on a couple of things that.
See, the thing is, I think people believe in your tech already. They just want to hear you say "fuck off" to somebody.
Well, yeah, but the problem
they want to see some fucking WWE shit at the fucking agency.
The way it's going to happen, though, because it's like I think the best way to get back at those people is to turn this around and make it what it should have been, and then
sorry something.
Yeah, well, because at that point it'll be a beautiful thing, because they will be so bent out of shape that they aren't a part of it. And that's the best, because that's when you can then have fun and not worry about it. But and that in the end is what we want, because all the people that stayed with us for all these 7 years, I want them to be rich, right? I want them to and to be able to point at people and say, "I told you so," right? That's what I want, right? More so if I had we have 40,000 holders for 7 freaking years through all this shit. And I haven't got 40,000 people saying that. It's so much more powerful than me.
Especially now, because remember how many times I would go into den.social, and I would go to the server for Dragonchain, and you just see people talking mad shit.
Yeah,
I bet that must be the best for you to look back on a lot of those people that were just talking all this nonsense about you.
Yeah.
Really falsely judging you too,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what's bullshit about, because this harmed your reputation as well,
Yeah.
This had nothing to do with what you were doing. You did things right, and you get this case and they misrepresent you, they misrepresent your character, and now you have random people that for whatever reason don't like you because the SEC said they're frauds.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I feel like they should be sued for irreparable damage.
It's possible. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we're looking at all angles, of course. I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know how clear it is. I don't, everybody's always told me, you can't do that. It won't go anywhere, but you never know.
There's been some companies, some crypto companies that sued back.
Oh yeah. Well, and I, by the way, I mean, I used to do federal contracting work, right? And I know of several people who sued the government and won, and so it's like, I know it's doable. But anyway, we're working on a few things right now that are, very focused at on the topic of, how do we refresh the Dragon? How do we bring it back out so that it's, something exciting, so it's something real. And frankly, when it went to $5.40, and you think about it, 7 years ago versus now, right? And if we had just sat and done nothing but burn money for 7 years, I still think it's worth more than what it is right now, the Dragon token. But the fact that we've built for 7 years and we've proven everything that we said, scalability, we've proven, the ability to integrate with any system. We have some really amazing tech, and now we have things like Dracaria, where it's something that a normal person can understand it more than some abstract concept on how you could use blockchain in some industry, right? So I think now that when we roll it back out, depending upon how we capture the value, that it's going to be understood. It's what it was then when it sold for 6 cents and then went up to $5, and you have 7 years worth of active development on it. It's going to be worth more than what 4 cents or whatever it is. So
I've been holding money tokens for fucking ever, and I just forget about them. You know what? Because I just rather I got my bag of Dragonchain, I got it, and it's like I tell my guys, like, it's just one of those picks where it's like it's just in case.
It's early Bitcoin. It's early. If you were in early Bitcoin, that's what you did. You buy some and you just don't
exactly. And that's what I was doing. Like, just buy it and then set and forget it. And then we'll worry about other stuff that's like here or there, or whatever the fuck. But Joe, it's always awesome to talk to you. We're running short now. You have anything else that you want to leave the audience with before you go?
Make sure you get an account on Dracaria.com. Make sure you watch Super Happy Dragon Lucky. But I will push the important info to you, and that way, anybody in your audience will know, because we do have some things coming up that I want to make sure all of you know about, that there's nobody that just doesn't get the news or something, because there's some things that are coming up that'll they're gonna be super exciting. They're gonna be really really fun to roll out. So and then as Dracaria rolls out further, and we start adding more and more to it, it's going to get really interesting. So it should be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know I always do this. I'm always like, all right, we're gonna end it, and then I think of something else. I'm like, wait, hold on, because I don't get to talk to you much. So I'm trying to catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Does Game of Thrones still is it still on TV, or where is that?
Okay. So let's see here now. So I know a little bit from our animators, right? That they did 4 seasons of the original Game of Thrones, and I think there was 8 seasons or 9. I can't remember how many seasons.
Did any of the people cast reach out to you, or
not yet? Not yet. But they're also working on the House of Dragon series as well.
Oh,
and
shit.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they did. I know that. Now I'll probably get this wrong because it was 2 years ago, but. The lead animator, I believe, did all of the work on the baby dragon that the main character had. So yeah, they did a bunch of work on that too, and I like that series even. So, and it's coming out next year again, the next season. So, by the way, I mean that's why if you look at the white paper for Dracaria, we very much looked at the way the NFT world works, the way the crypto world works, and our goal, and this is kind of maybe the equivalent to hypothesis on how we were thinking about this, that we don't want to hit only a crypto audience and only an NFT audience. We really wanted to make sure it's branded in a way that's normal.
Yeah,
normal. Because you think about
You can't just mine Twitter. You can't just
No.
mine Twitter. You have to go outside of Twitter.
Well, yeah,
YouTube,
and you think about the size of the NFT market, and maybe even the size of the crypto market compared to fans of Game of Thrones and Tolkien and D&D. That dwarfs the crypto world. I mean, we could have people from all over the world that don't care about crypto at all wanting these because they're all unique and they're all sexy and, you know, amazing. And, you know, when they learn about the tech, it's even better. But that's really our goal, because I think in the end, and that's why we ended up putting, instead of just saying, originally we were planning on doing 4 separate releases, one of each of the elements in Dragons, and they were like, we were going to have 1,488 of each. And we went back and said, you know what?
Why 1488? Is that a special number to you?
It's a Fibonacci number. It was just a Fibonacci number that was not too big and not too small. But what we ended up doing is going back and saying, we're going to have a season that is cyclical. So it goes earth, water, air, fire, and then it repeats. And each 4 seasons is an age. And that gives us a calendar for all of the characters that come up. So when you spawn a character, it will have part of the calendar in its name. So, you know, and if you look at it, you know, some of these, they all have really amazing, the naming system is crazy because they have a name for each of their 4 elements, their house, the, you know, type of dragon it is, their magic element, their spawn season element, and their hatch season element. And essentially, you know, we put it together so that the entropy is really shown, and it will go on forever. So now when some dragon specific thing hits mainstream and goes viral, there's a chance we'll be caught, you know, up in the wave, right? And that'll happen over and over until it goes so crazy that you know, they all just become too expensive, and you know, and at that point everybody's happy, and we keep, you know, building other stuff. So anyway,
that's fucking please, we need a fuck you video type of
okay. Okay, all right,
that's what they want to see. They want to see like some Royal Rumble shit, you know. That'll get people talking again, you know what I mean?
I do get upset on the round table quite occasionally with the world, with the political world. So you can watch a little bit of that. And, you know, it's typically geared towards that same thing, just not so much absolutely about the dragon. But, you know, everything they did to us, is, you know, it's really ridiculous. It's like I grew up not thinking that was what was supposed to be, you know, the way the country works, but it definitely is.
Yeah, so. Incredibly stressful. But you know what? You made it, man. You made it. That's what fucking matters. That's awesome. Not everyone made it. Fucking Library Coin didn't make it. They couldn't hold out longer. You know, so it sucks. You know, we lost some good companies.
Oh yeah. So
there's, you know,
so much.
But we have Dragonchain. I was very happy that you guys not, because I was worried. I went around that time where they closed down. I was like, man, I really hope Dragonchain don't give up. And you guys never did, so I'm like really happy you guys did what you did, and happy for the victory. You're always gonna have a supporter, promoter from me. You know, awesome. And Joe doesn't pay me. He doesn't pay me anything. Okay, nope. This is just me meeting him one time, having a fucking patriotic ass conversation, talking about fucking lizards, these fucking reptilian fork tongue baker feeding motherfuckers, right?
Yep.
And from there, I was like, dude, I'm gonna support you all the way. I'm 100% ready to.
You're awesome. Yeah, I'll tell you how rare that is too, because we don't pay anybody. We never have paid anybody for any of that stuff, for like promotion, you know, that type of thing. And so I really appreciate it when we find somebody who's honest.
We lost BitBoy. You saw that?
Yeah, no joke. He did have us on. You introduced me to him, so he did.
No, we were literally going to get you to do a video with him again, and he just fucking crashed out. You know, it was crazy, man. Yeah, just left and right. But hopefully, you know, we get him back soon. I'm thinking.
I've heard he's going to come back, and we're gonna have the real bowl. When
I think what we'll do is like I think it'll probably be October, November, because the way they fucked them over on that whole thing, like, okay, sure, you know, you want to put a guy in jail for whatever, okay, But to not give the guy bail on a misdemeanor, that's like overreach power, power overreach, and it's just
the New York Times didn't do any
bullshit.
great parades with him, did they? They didn't go around and talk about how he's just an innocent guy. He just didn't know what he was doing, like they did with Bankman.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that?
Exactly. Well,
I'll tell you,
I was being fucking dumb. He did kind of like.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. I know.
Spam a goddamn judge, But
I didn't know
whatever.
that.
Okay, well, like I get it. Like sure, arrest him. I get it. I get it. She probably got scared. You don't know what she deals with. Whatever.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
100%. But to not give the guy bail and now he's stuck there for a year, that doesn't count towards shit, and he just needs to go to trial.
I didn't even know that.
No, dude.
Wow.
So when he went to jail, bro, they didn't give him bail. They said no bail. So on a misdemeanor. So that means he's going to be there for the total duration of the court case until it's done. So that means that trial will be scheduled or whatever, probably the end of the year, October, November. And that is if he goes to court that day and then they say, actually, we got to reschedule for like next month. And he's stuck in there for longer. They should have already given him bail by now.
That's
and
crazy.
He's still just stuck in there. Like, that's fucking bullshit. Honestly, like a lot of people don't like him. But at the end of the day, citizen to a citizen, you see the government do dumb shit like that just because you're someone's boy or you're fucking who you are, whatever. No one's above the law. No one's above the law. So to overextend or over punish somebody I just felt like it was unfair and wrong, and a lot of people are cheering that on, but like it's like you need to stop looking at it like when you see these court cases. I don't look at it like I care about this case or I'm going to determine you're innocent or guilty based on you because your likability. Like I'm looking at shit where it's like what did the government do and what are they saying he's doing and how are they going about
and there's no honor. There's no honor anywhere in the government.
I didn't like that at all. But a lot of people they don't see things like that because like when government is fucking saying dumb shit or doing dumb shit, you should fucking say something or you should at least like. So I know we were supposed to get off a while ago, but hold on, I got one. I'm just talking to you at this point. So fucking, I was talking to. I had a voice conference last night on OddApp. If you're not on OddApp, it's on Apple and Google stores. We were having a conference call, and I was telling them how fucked up the government is about the shit they say to us. Like, it's worse enough that we get fucking abused, right? It's worse. Yeah. It's already worse as it is. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they make up the lies that they make up so blatantly now, like it is so bad. Like the whole Epstein file thing. Nope, there's none. Oh no, like that type of shit. And not only that, like you like when the whole debt ceiling thing was coming around, and they were like, "Well, I got an idea, guys. We could deposit a fucking 1 ounce platinum coin, a 1,200 USD value, and then just say this is the $1 trillion platinum coin. And then we could print another $1 trillion by putting this coin in a fucking bank. Okay. We're going to put it in the Federal Reserve. Yeah. Put it in the bank. And because we did that, now I could go over to our building next door. I found $1 trillion. Man, yeah. What the fuck? And they're telling people on TV. It was all over the news that they were planning on doing this as some sort of solution to the debt ceiling. And I was like, well, I don't think you guys got a problem anymore because, we're at 37 trillion. You just signed a bill for 5 trillion. We're sitting at 42 trillion with roughly 2.5% to 3% inflation. So if that's the case,
and they're not even counting everything.
We're printing 1.2 trillion just in interest, which is inflation. Yeah. And interest is inflation, is taxes. And it's all the same shit. So, to me, like, think about that. Like, think about the sheer size of this principle and this interest rate.
But at some point, it's going to collapse. But I say that everybody's like, "Oh, you've been saying that for years, Joe."
Think about COVID. COVID, we printed 2 trillion, right? Okay, so now with inflation, 2.5 to 3% projected to go higher, we're printing 1.2 trillion doing nothing. The principal's so fucking high now that we're printing an additional $1 trillion in the system. It's there. The balance is there. So, all right, I'm going to for real let you go this time. Joe, it is always a goddamn pleasure to talk to you and catch up with you, man. You know, you always have our support. I share all the shit that I can from Dragonchain. I fucking always have something good to say about you and your team. Like, I love the fact that you have some diehard people with you too. And nothing makes me prouder than, you know, people that build with you in the fucking dirt. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody only wants to be around you at the finish line. You know, you want to be next to you when you're fucking famous. Everything's fucking nice. But nobody wants to fucking build when you're dirty, when you're in the fucking dirt, you know?
Well, the beauty is you find the people. When they take everything from you, then you find the people who are real. Like, oh, it's good.
You know what? You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right about that. All right. I will cut this one out. Thank you guys for coming. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please share this video around. Nobody's done an interview on Joe Dragon on how he felt after this case, and I wanted to get that to you guys today because it is a huge fucking step for Dragonchain, and there's a lot more growth to be had going forward. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one.